There is a truth often ignored in a world consumed by words. What is left unsaid is still expressed. A woman may hold her tongue, suppress her emotions and guard her thoughts, but her body will always reveal the reality within. Stoicism teaches that while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions. And yet the body is an honest reflection of the mind. It does not lie. If there is tension, there is unresolved struggle. If there is exhaustion, there is emotional weight. If there is stillness, there is mastery. The body is a mirror of the mind. No matter how much someone tries to hide their emotions, their body will always reveal the truth. Stress, anxiety, and unresolved feelings do not simply disappear because they are ignored. They manifest physically. A tense jaw, stiff shoulders, shallow breathing, fatigue, and even illness are all signs that the mind is carrying a weight it refuses to acknowledge. The body does not lie. This is why a Stoic woman understands that if she wants to master her body, she must first master her thoughts. Emotions are powerful forces. They influence how we feel, how we react, and how we carry ourselves. A woman filled with anger may speak calmly, but her clenched fists and rigid posture will reveal her true state. A woman trying to suppress grief may say she is fine, but her tired eyes and heavy steps will expose the burden she carries. The body always speaks, and for those who listen, it tells the story of the mind. This is why it is crucial to cultivate inner peace, not just for the sake of the mind, but for the well-being of the body. When the mind is restless, the body suffers. Chronic stress weakens the immune system. Constant worry leads to tension, headaches, and fatigue. Suppressed emotions create a sense of unease that lingers in the muscles and weighs down the spirit. A Stoic woman does not ignore these signs. She recognizes them as signals to regain control. She does not allow her body to become a battlefield for her emotions. Instead, she cultivates a disciplined mind, knowing that true control begins from within. Mastering thoughts does not mean denying emotions. It means understanding them, processing them, and choosing how to respond. A Stoic woman does not let negative thoughts fester and manifest as physical distress. She acknowledges emotions without becoming their slave. If she feels anger, she does not let it tighten her muscles or quicken her breath. She observes it, understands its cause, and releases it before it takes root. If she feels sadness, she does not let it weigh on her shoulders or slow her step. She faces it, accepts it, and moves forward with strength. Awareness is key. Many people live disconnected from their own bodies, failing to recognize how their emotions shape their physical state. They walk through life carrying tension they do not acknowledge, reacting to situations without realizing how deeply they affect them. But a Stoic woman is not blind to her own condition. She observes herself. She notices when stress is creeping in, when her breathing becomes shallow, when her posture stiffens. And instead of allowing these signs to control her, she takes charge. She breathes deeply, she loosens her grip, she centers herself. She refuses to let the outside world dictate how she feels inside. This mastery of thought and body creates an aura of strength that cannot be faked. A woman who has control over her emotions does not need to prove her power with words. Her presence alone commands respect. Her steady gaze, her composed posture, her measured movements all speak for her. She does not need to raise her voice to be heard. She does not need to seek validation to feel worthy. Her body reflects the calm, the discipline, the strength she has built within. In contrast, a woman who lacks control over her mind will always struggle to conceal the chaos she feels inside. No matter how much she smiles, no matter how carefully she crafts her words, her body will betray her. Nervous fidgeting, anxious glances, restless energy. These are the marks of someone who has not yet mastered herself. And in a world that constantly tests her, that seeks to provoke a reaction, a lack of control is a weakness that others will exploit. This is why a Stoic woman does not allow emotions to control her body. She trains herself to remain still when anger rises, to hold steady when fear whispers, to move with purpose even when faced with uncertainty. She does not allow external events to dictate her state of being. She does not carry unnecessary burdens. She does not let stress weigh her down. Instead, she remains grounded, centered, and in full control of herself. Her mind is clear, her body follows, and her presence speaks louder than any words ever could. The body reacts to emotions before the mind even has time to process them. Fear makes the heart race. Anger tightens the jaw. Sadness weakens the posture. These are automatic responses ingrained in human nature, but true strength does not come from merely feeling emotions. It comes from mastering them. A Stoic woman understands that while she cannot control her initial emotional reactions, she can control how she responds to them. She does not allow her body to betray her with uncontrolled expressions of frustration, fear, or despair. Instead, she trains herself to remain composed, ensuring that her emotions do not dictate her actions. Many people live as prisoners to their emotions, believing that feelings should be expressed without restraint. They allow their bodies to react impulsively, raising their voice in anger, retreating in fear, shrinking under pressure. But a Stoic woman knows that control over her body begins with control over her mind. She does not give in to every emotional impulse. When provoked, she does not lash out. When faced with uncertainty, she does not let anxiety overtake her. Instead, she takes a deep breath, slows her pulse, and decides how she will act rather than merely react. This control is not about suppression, it is about discipline. Suppression means ignoring emotions and pretending they do not exist, which only leads to inner turmoil. Discipline means recognizing emotions, understanding them, and deciding whether or not they deserve a response. A Stoic woman does not deny anger, but she does not let it control her. She does not deny fear, but she refuses to let it weaken her. She does not deny sadness, but she does not let it consume her. She holds herself steady, allowing her mind to dictate her actions rather than letting her body react impulsively. Every emotion leaves a trace on the body. A woman who has no control over her emotions will reveal her weakness through her posture, her gestures, her energy. Her nervousness will show in the way she fidgets. Her insecurity will manifest in the way she avoids eye contact. Her frustration will be evident in her tightened fists, her hurried steps, her shallow breathing. She may try to appear strong, but her body will expose the truth. In contrast, a woman who has trained herself to remain composed will always exude confidence. She will move with purpose. She will stand tall. She will carry herself with the quiet strength that comes from self-mastery. This is why emotional control is not just about what one says. It is about what one does not say, what one does not show. A Stoic woman understands that in every situation, the person who maintains control has the advantage. If someone insults her, she does not tense up, does not flinch, does not retaliate with emotion. She remains still, unaffected. If she faces a challenge, she does not allow stress to overwhelm her. She slows her breathing, maintains her composure, and tackles the problem with a clear mind. Her strength is not in words, not in reaction, but in restraint. The world is filled with people who lack control over themselves. They shout when they are angry, cry when they are frustrated, break down when things do not go their way. They allow external events to dictate their internal state. But a Stoic woman does not grant the world such power over her. She understands that composure is the mark of true strength. She is not easily shaken, not easily provoked. She carries herself with deliberate control, knowing that mastery over her body begins with mastery over her emotions. This discipline is built over time. It requires patience, self-awareness, and the willingness to endure discomfort. There will be moments where emotions rise unexpectedly, where the body reacts before the mind can intervene. But a Stoic woman does not see these moments as failures. She sees them as opportunities to strengthen her self-control. Each time she resists the urge to react impulsively, she becomes stronger. Each time she chooses calm over chaos, she sharpens her discipline. Each time she holds her ground instead of being swayed by emotion, she deepens her control over herself. In the end, the body will always reflect the mind. A restless mind creates a restless body. A disciplined mind creates a body that moves with confidence and purpose. A woman who has control over herself does not need to prove her strength with words. Her presence alone speaks for her. She does not need to demand respect. She commands it naturally, through the way she carries herself. Her strength is silent, steady, and undeniable. The world is chaotic, filled with noise, distractions, and constant challenges. Every day, people are faced with situations that provoke anger, fear, frustration, or sadness. And yet, a Stoic woman understands that she is not obligated to carry the weight of this external chaos within her. The mind and the body are connected. If the mind is disturbed, the body will show signs of that disturbance. If the mind is calm, the body will reflect that serenity. This is why she chooses to detach from things that do not serve her peace. She does not allow insults, failures, or disappointments to take root in her mind, because she knows that whatever she permits to linger in her thoughts will eventually manifest in her body. Detachment does not mean indifference. It does not mean that she does not care about the world around her. It means she refuses to be controlled by things outside of her power. She recognizes that there will always be people who try to provoke her, situations that test her patience, and moments that challenge her emotions. But instead of reacting impulsively, she remains composed. She does not allow the stress of a bad day to manifest in her posture, nor does she allow the opinions of others to tighten her jaw or make her heart race. She understands that her body should not be an emotional battlefield. It should be a place of strength and discipline. People often suffer not because of what happens to them, but because of how they interpret those events. A Stoic woman does not take things personally. She does not internalize the words or actions of others. If someone speaks harshly to her, she does not tense up with anger. She reminds herself that their words are a reflection of them, not of her. If life does not go as planned, she does not allow stress to consume her body. She remains centered, knowing that setbacks are simply part of the journey. She detaches from what she cannot control, and in doing so, she frees herself from unnecessary suffering. The world will always attempt to disrupt her peace. There will always be pressure, demands, and expectations placed upon her, but she does not allow these things to dictate how she feels. She understands that she is not responsible for everything that happens, but she is responsible for how she responds. She does not let the weight of others' expectations burden her shoulders. She does not let the past linger in her muscles, nor does she allow the future to create tension in her breath. She lives fully in the present, accepting what is and letting go of what is not within her control. This ability to detach is what gives her power. Many people are controlled by their emotions. They allow stress to make them weak. They let criticism shake their confidence. They permit fear to hold them back. But a Stoic woman understands that strength is found in self-discipline. She does not react without thought. She does not give energy to things that do not deserve her attention. She walks through life with an unshakable presence because she has trained herself not to be swayed by external circumstances. Her body does not betray her with tension or anxiety because her mind remains steady. Stillness is a choice. In a world that demands reaction, a Stoic woman chooses restraint. When faced with adversity, she does not flinch. When confronted with chaos, she does not lose herself in the noise. She remains grounded like a tree in the wind, strong, unmoving, deeply rooted in wisdom. She does not let the turbulence of life disrupt her internal state. She has learned to observe, to acknowledge, and to release. What does not serve her peace is left behind. This mastery over detachment is not something that happens overnight. It is a practice, a lifelong discipline. There will be moments when emotions rise, when the urge to react feels overwhelming, but a Stoic woman is patient with herself. She understands that each time she chooses control over chaos, she strengthens her discipline. Each time she refuses to let stress control her body, she reinforces her mastery. Each time she lets go of what she cannot change, she becomes freer. Her strength is not found in how loudly she speaks or how aggressively she responds. It is found in her ability to remain calm when others are losing control. It is found in her stillness when the world demands reaction. It is found in her refusal to carry burdens that are not hers to bear. She does not say it, but her body does. Her steady breath, her relaxed posture, her unwavering presence all speak for her. She has mastered the art of detachment, and because of that, nothing can shake her. Pain is an unavoidable part of life. It comes in many forms: physical discomfort, emotional distress, loss, disappointment, failure. No one is immune to it, but while most people fear pain and try to avoid it at all costs, a Stoic woman embraces it as a teacher. She understands that pain is not the enemy. It is a test of endurance, a measure of strength. She does not flinch at discomfort, nor does she allow suffering to break her spirit. Instead, she welcomes hardship as an opportunity to prove her resilience. She knows that how she responds to pain determines whether she will be weakened by it or made stronger. The body reacts instinctively to pain, just as it does to emotions. Tension builds, muscles tighten, breath becomes shallow. But a Stoic woman does not allow these reactions to control her. When she experiences discomfort, she acknowledges it, but she does not let it consume her. She reminds herself that pain is temporary, that suffering is a choice, and that she has power over how she interprets her own experiences. When others panic in the face of hardship, she remains composed. When others complain, she endures in silence. Her strength is not in avoiding pain, but in meeting it head-on with calm determination. Many people allow pain to dictate their actions. When they are hurt, they lash out. When they are uncomfortable, they retreat. When they face adversity, they crumble. But a Stoic woman refuses to be controlled by suffering. She does not let pain turn her bitter, nor does she allow hardship to make her fragile. She moves through life with the understanding that difficulties are inevitable, but weakness is a choice. She trains herself to withstand discomfort, to sit with pain without letting it dictate her behavior. If she feels exhaustion, she pushes forward. If she experiences loss, she mourns without losing herself in grief. If she faces setbacks, she adapts and continues. Endurance is a skill that must be developed. No one is born strong. Strength is built in moments of struggle, in the decision to keep going when everything urges retreat. A Stoic woman does not run from pain, she leans into it. She knows that her mind is stronger than her body, that discipline can overcome discomfort. She has learned that pain is only as powerful as she allows it to be. The moment she refuses to let it break her, she becomes untouchable. This mastery over pain is not about denying it, it is about facing it with control. Pain is real, but suffering is optional. A Stoic woman does not let hardship make her resentful or weak. She treats pain as an instructor, a force that shapes her into someone stronger. She understands that every moment of discomfort is an opportunity to grow. She has endured before and she will endure again. Nothing can break her because she does not give pain permission to do so. While others fear discomfort, she embraces it. She does not avoid challenges because they might bring struggle. She faces them precisely because they will. She does not seek the easiest path. She chooses the one that will make her stronger. She does not allow the fear of pain to hold her back from living fully. She knows that suffering is temporary, but the strength gained from enduring it lasts forever. There is a quiet power in the way she carries herself. She does not announce her struggles, nor does she seek sympathy. She moves with a presence that tells the world she has seen hardship and remained unshaken. She does not need to say she is strong. Her body reveals it in every step she takes, every steady breath, every composed movement. She has mastered pain, and because of that, nothing can control her. She does not say it, but her body will. A Stoic woman understands that emotions are fleeting, unpredictable, and often misleading. Feelings come and go like the tides. One moment they are strong and overwhelming, the next they are gone without a trace. If she were to base her actions on every emotional impulse, she would be a slave to instability, constantly pulled in different directions by forces beyond her control. But she refuses to live that way. She does not make decisions in moments of emotional intensity, nor does she allow temporary feelings to dictate her long-term path. Instead, she steps back, observes, and acts only when reason has regained control. The body is the first to betray a person when emotions take over. A racing heart, trembling hands, tense muscles. These are signs that someone has lost command over themselves. But a Stoic woman trains herself to remain still, to resist the urge to react impulsively. When she is insulted, she does not snap back in anger. When she is hurt, she does not lash out. When she is overwhelmed, she does not crumble. Instead, she breathes, she waits, she thinks. She understands that the first reaction is often the least wise, and so she does not trust it. She gives herself the space to process before she responds. Many people believe that reacting emotionally is a sign of authenticity, that to feel deeply is to live fully. But this is a mistake. True strength is not found in being swept away by every feeling. It is found in the ability to control one's own response. A Stoic woman does not suppress emotions, but she does not allow them to rule her either. She acknowledges them, examines them, and then decides whether they are worth acting on. If an emotion serves no purpose other than to create chaos, she lets it pass without giving it power. She understands that just because something feels urgent does not mean it is important. Anger in the moment feels justified, but in hindsight it often leads to regret. Fear feels paralyzing, but most of what people fear never actually happens. Desire can be intoxicating, but it can also lead to foolish decisions. The Stoic woman sees beyond the immediate feeling. She does not let fleeting emotions dictate permanent choices. She asks herself, will this matter tomorrow? Will it matter in a year? If the answer is no, she refuses to waste her energy on it. This level of control does not come easily. It requires discipline, practice, and self-awareness. There will be times when emotions rise suddenly, when the body reacts before the mind has time to intervene. But the Stoic woman is patient with herself. Each time she resists an unnecessary reaction, she strengthens her willpower. Each time she remains calm in the face of provocation, she deepens her control. Over time, she becomes unshakable. Not because she feels nothing, but because she chooses which emotions deserve her attention and which do not. She does not live at the mercy of external circumstances. If the world around her is chaotic, she does not become chaotic in return. If others are reckless, she does not lower herself to their level. If life throws difficulties her way, she does not collapse under their weight. She remains composed, steady, disciplined. She understands that power is not in the loudest voice, nor in the strongest reaction. True power is in restraint, in the ability to walk away from unnecessary battles, in the wisdom to act only when it truly matters. The way she carries herself reflects this mastery. She does not fidget with nervous energy. Her movements are deliberate, controlled. She does not speak in a rushed, frantic tone. Her voice is measured, calm. She does not seek validation through emotional displays. Her presence alone is enough. She does not have to say that she is strong. Her body says it for her. In a world that rewards impulsivity, she stands apart as someone who cannot be swayed by and because of this, she is respected. People may not always understand her silence, her discipline, her refusal to react in the way they expect, but they recognize her strength. They see that she is not easily provoked, not easily manipulated, not easily broken. She moves with a quiet confidence that does not need to be announced. She knows that her power lies not in what she says, but in what she chooses not to say. Not in how she reacts, but in how she chooses not to react. Her control is her weapon, and because of it, nothing and no one can control her. A Stoic woman understands that true power lies in self-mastery. While the world chases external validation, wealth, and control over others, she focuses on the only thing that truly belongs to her: herself. She does not waste energy trying to bend people to her will or force situations to unfold as she desires. Instead, she strengthens her mind, tempers her emotions, and disciplines her body. She knows that external power is fragile. It can be taken away in an instant. But the power she cultivates within herself is unshakable. No one can take away her ability to control her own reactions, her own thoughts, her own inner peace. In a world that constantly seeks to provoke, distract, and manipulate, the Stoic woman remains unmoved. She does not engage in unnecessary arguments, nor does she allow petty conflicts to drain her energy. She chooses her battles wisely, recognizing that many fights are not worth her time. She does not let insults disrupt her peace. If someone speaks poorly of her, she remains indifferent, knowing that another person's opinion holds no real power over her life. If someone tries to manipulate her emotions, she sees through their attempts and refuses to react as expected. Many people live in a state of constant reaction. They allow others to dictate their mood, their choices, even their sense of self-worth. A single criticism can ruin their day. A small inconvenience can throw them into frustration. But the Stoic woman is different. She understands that her mood, her choices, and her sense of self are hers alone to command. She does not give away her power by allowing external forces to control her. She does not need approval to feel secure, nor does she need validation to feel valuable. She is enough on her own. Her presence reflects this mastery. She does not fidget or speak impulsively. She moves with intention, her voice steady and sure. When she speaks, her words carry weight, not because they are loud or forceful, but because they are measured and deliberate. She does not seek attention, but she commands respect. She does not need to dominate others to feel powerful. She simply exists in a state of quiet confidence that others cannot ignore. This level of self-possession is rare, which is why it is so powerful. People are drawn to those who are in control of themselves, who are not easily swayed by emotion or circumstance. The Stoic woman understands this and does not allow herself to be easily read. She does not wear her emotions on her sleeve, nor does she allow others to predict her reactions. She remains a mystery, not because she is trying to be difficult, but because she does not believe in giving people access to parts of herself they have not earned. She understands that not everyone is worthy of her time, her energy, or her vulnerability. This is not arrogance, it is wisdom. She knows that people will test her, push her boundaries, and try to pull her into unnecessary conflicts. But she does not fall for these traps. She maintains her composure, refusing to be drawn into situations that do not serve her. She does not waste time trying to prove herself because she has nothing to prove. She does not beg for attention or demand recognition because she does not need them. She is at peace with herself, and that peace is something no one can take away. There is great strength in restraint. In a world that rewards loudness and impulsivity, the Stoic woman stands apart. She does not react just because she is expected to. She does not seek revenge when she is wronged. She does not chase after people who do not appreciate her. Instead, she remains still, confident in her own worth. She understands that the most powerful people are not those who control others, but those who control themselves. Her power is silent but undeniable. When she enters a room, she does not demand attention. It is given to her naturally. People sense that she is different, that she does not need their approval to feel whole. They respect her, even if they do not understand her. She does not seek validation from the world, and because of that, the world cannot shake her. She does not say it, but her body will. Every movement, every glance, every decision she makes reveals her strength, and that is the kind of power that lasts.